Also this week, a third high-ranking politician in Virginia has come under fire for a decades-old incident. Here's the story from WSLS in Roanoke.
Another top Virginia Democrat admits to wearing blackface decades ago. Attorney General Mark Herring issued a statement saying he wore brown makeup and a wig in 1980 to look like a black rapper during a party as an undergraduate at the University of Virginia. In a statement, he says, in part, the blackface incident was a one-time occurrence, and I accept full responsibility for my conduct. That conduct clearly shows that as a young man, I had a callous and inexcusable lack of awareness and insensitivity to the pain my behavior could inflict on others.
Christian Barnard with Young Voices. Do you think they will step down?
That's a very good question. I think that when the pressure was all on Northam, when it was just him that had been exposed to have been wearing blackface in the 80s, it was probably more likely at that point that he was going to step down. Because at that point it seemed like, I mean, to some maybe, that it was an isolated incident. But when other politicians around him started to also kind of reveal that they had skeletons in their closet as well, it probably makes it more likely that they could maybe weather this political storm. I know that there's also some opposition research, happening now with Republicans in the Virginia legislature. So it's very possible that, I mean, it's definitely the case that not just Democrats are going to come out of this with tarnished reputations. But who knows if they'll step down. I think it's an abominable thing, the revelation that at least Herring and Northam, that they wore blackface. At a time, I mean, some people want to say that it happened a very long time ago. I don't think the 80s were a time where it was culturally acceptable to be wearing blackface. Hopefully not. Of course, I'm young and maybe I could be wrong there. So I think that just to say it was something that happened a long time ago and to try to brush it off and weather the storm politically is really not going to seal the deal for them at all.
Zaid Jilani, what's your opinion?
Well, what's interesting is that Virginia actually has one-term governors. So if Northam wanted to sit in place, even if his approvals didn't improve, and he could probably just manage it, but Herring has political aspirations. I think he's already basically declared he's going to run for governor next time. Justin Fairfax, if Northam had stepped down, Justin Fairfax would have become the governor. Right. So for those two, it's a little bit different situation. Of course, Fairfax has also been accused of a crime. Right. Those other two incidents seem like faux pas. I don't necessarily know why they made tasteless jokes like that, but it's the kind of thing you can apologize and move on. Being accused of a crime, though, I mean, Justin Fairfax could go to jail if that ends up being correct.
Yeah.
So that's a different situation. But I do think, I kind of took a lonely stance, kind of saying we should give Northam some room to apologize, and we should try to move on. It looked like a very lonely stand when I took it last week, but as time goes along, the reality is if 3 Democrats step down, the person who becomes governor is the GOP Speaker of the House. Right. And I don't think Democrats are willing to risk Medicaid expansion, willing to risk raising the minimum wage, all these policies that tangibly affect people's lives over a symbolic offense. With symbolic offense with hurt feelings, you can apologize. You can't bring someone back to life who dies from cancer, Right. So I think that it's becoming less and less likely that these folks step down because of that reason.